at you. Hello everyone, it's Open House Thursday. Welcome to the show. I am Mariah Afolabi Brown. As always, I have my lovely co-host here. Hi ladies.
Hello.
How you guys doing?
I'm
I feel like a lady today.
I love the
I don't feel
look.
like a tomboy, I feel like a lady. How you guys doing? Jumoke, what's up?
Would it be very mean to say that I love your...
You wanted to say something bad, but somebody just said you say something good, right? I'm sure. But go ahead, how you doing?
See how mischievous, gosh.
Ah.
I'm waiting for you to have children. Your children, they will be like you.
Jumoke, oh my shit.
It's not that but I can see this losing weight there though.
Okay, don't worry, very soon. That's
Alright,
the man you used to do like this.
How's weight
I'll
loss
show you.
going?
We're trying our best. Mind your
You're not
business.
looking so bad.
Oh, mind your business. How you doing? What's up? Anything?
Nothing much. Nothing much.
Topsy, what's going on?
You know, it's a chore to plan diets, as like plan the meal for the house. Women is work. Because at the point I realized that we're eating, maybe it's what okra, okay, let me try and throw in something new, and then we're eating it too much, and I'm trying to like, so I'm just, it's.
Well, I have to give you a funny gist that happened with me. This weight loss thing, I told my husband, okay, let me plan our meals. He now said you can eat whatever you want breakfast, but dinner will be salad. I'll make the salad. He said, oh, great, no problem, Mariah, I'll agree with you. Whatever you want to do, I'll do. First day, I made salad for dinner. And after eating the salad, he's like, okay, she got the phone. I'm going to yes, got the really. No, immediately. I can't sleep with this. I'm like, you will sleep with this. But I will scream at night. No worry, you'll be all right. Eat an apple. Next day, okay, that is not going to work, right? But somehow adjusted, and he's already I guess it's this salad thing, but it's not easy, man. When you're trying to plan the family meals alongside your weight loss. But you know
that your husband's people, they have all sorts of soups. I think you should
so I'm
explore.
going. No, we're doing black soup. I'm doing banga. That's what I want to do today. But even at that, he swallow is with semo
and eforiro.
I'm telling you.
No, but it's like with semo. Somebody is saying I should try blended oats. It's boring, you know.
Try brown
Amala.
rice. Something, I don't know. Make up something. How you doing, you?
I'm good.
Chon,
ching chong. I will answer you. My sister. All these funny airlines, they are trying my patience in this Nigeria.
Tell them, tell them.
We you know when we're going to Abuja and Jos, we got an airline to take us directly to Jos, and they cancelled the flight, and they moved the flight to the next day. And because we were on a schedule, we needed to leave the day we were supposed to leave. We sent them a mail that sorry, we cannot fly with that particular flight. So apparently, somebody must have gone to check somewhere, and they saw that maybe they assumed that it was a no-show. They have sold our ticket. How can? I now ask the lady, is it my ghost? Is it my children's ghost? Myself, my husband, my two children, people actually checked in with our names. I want to see the end of the matter.
No way.
I'm waiting for big money because I will sue very well, and the suing is going to be big money. I don't understand how airlines, how they, they want to manage.
That particular airline, they've
done that before.
I'm sure everybody even knows the airline we're talking about.
And guess what? When we were calling them to tell them that, we were calling and calling. At some point, after we spoke to the lady the first time, the next time we will call, they will just pick the call and they will just
hang up.
They will not hang up. They'll just leave it there. So you'll be shouting hello, hello, hello. 419 broad daylight like this.
Okay. Don't worry.
I did wait for them.
There are lawyers that will take up your case for you.
Please,
because they know there's money to be made.
It's Thursday. It's a fun day. So let's quickly round up. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, we'll look at the front pages of the newspapers, and later we'll talk about suicide. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Jumoke was jabbing my arms. We'll get there.
Did I say anything?
We will get where you do like this. The punch.
Christian mother.
PDP convention drama. Wike others shift poll. Extend McCarthy's term. Police seal Congress venue. Fayose absent. McCarthy must face contempt charge, says sheriff. You can see a picture here of a protester. Federal government and judiciary killing PDP. Federal government allow democracy prevail. Leave PDP alone. Really? No Kanu, no talks with federal government, says IPOB. Assassins kill couple, abduct 3 children. 350 million naira fraud. Sorry, refund. EFCC detains ex-governor Udenwa. Federal government okays 4 oil wells for Lagos. Appeal court rules on Ikpeazu Oga government tussle today. Drug scarcity hits Aso Rock Clinic despite 3.8 billion naira budget. Avengers split over planned dialogue with federal government, and I have found my missing certificate, says Obaseki. Lots of stories here.
but I think we should talk about the issue
Couple
with
that
the...
was assassinated.
No, I want to talk about the issue with the Abuja, the Aso Rock Clinic.
Aso Rock, the clinic.
Because people, we've heard about the economic crisis and how it's affecting businesses, but now this is affecting individual lives. The drugs are not available. They don't have it within the hospital. Even as
We don't know
little
if
as
the budget was
drip.
allocated. It was allocated, but we don't know it was given to them. We don't know that yet.
Whichever way, I think we need to prioritize health
cash
sector.
crunch now. They don't
We
have
need-
the money yet.
Yeah, but we need to prioritize the health sector, because even apart from this issue, my husband is always complaining that he has people want to buy gadgets, but he doesn't even have it in the market. Nobody is importing because of the dollar crunch. The same people in pharmacies are also complaining that imported drugs are now getting scarce, and we need them because some people's health depends on it. Renal Clinic is being affected by this, so people that are depending on this to be alive cannot get access to their drugs.
And who are the people again? The president, the vice, their families, and the Aso Rock staff.
I think the other environmental
No, but we are,
environment.
it doesn't stop at Aso Rock, actually. When the pharmaceutical companies are complaining that the shortfall on the dollar is affecting drug importation, that doesn't stop at Aso Rock. It goes beyond Aso Rock. It goes, so it tells us that even if, rather than say you want to subsidize dollar for Hajj, you subsidize dollar for medical sector. These people, they are in need of drugs, and those drugs, we don't produce them locally here. You have to import those drugs, and it is dependent on the dollar.
Who has the human angle story?
Or do we start to look at Agbo?
Please,
as
did
an
you read it?
alternative?
I read that
Yes.
story. Jumoke, did you read it? I read it, but it's still they killed the parents, obviously, and just ran off with the 3 kids. And they were saying that the gentleman, the man that was killed, had a fight with some lady and the woman. So it's possible that woman is a suspect, and she was actually being arrested alongside other suspects. But they were probably the one that actually got people to come and kill this couple.
Sad story.
Okay, moving on to The Nation. Report links Jonathan to Niger Delta Avengers. I have nothing to do with bombing of oil installations, says ex-president. PDP extends McCarthy's tenure as police stop convention. Lagos to receive derivation of 30% fund for oil. EFCC uncovers another $5 million cash given to Fayoshe. Federal government to immunize 87 million children. Wow, that's a lot of kids. Okay, so reports is linking our ex-president to Niger Delta Avengers. Who has that story?
And he's still coming out to
He has denied it.
So
This
that's
has
the
been
that's the
ongoing.
entire
It's been
story.
ongoing. No, but you see, the truth is that, yes, I know that there's some form of immunity that he would enjoy as former president of the country. But when they keep bringing reports linking him to this Niger Delta Avengers, it is only wise for proper investigations that is.
One of the things that came out was
Yeah.
the fact that the installations of the bombs that are being detonated were installed back in May, even before the elections. No, May 2015. So they were already installed, and the idea was according to this report, the Niger Delta Avengers wanted actually to declare the Niger Delta Republic, but they were asked to shelve that declaration because the president had conceded and it was supposed to come down. But the moment they started an investigation on the oil sector, that's when they now regrouped to actually begin detonating the bombs in these places.
That there were threats. All this, was it Tompolo that came out to say Nigeria will burn if if the president then was not re-elected. So, you cannot divorce the
However, I think that you don't raise an
correlations.
accusation
Onto your
against the president, an ex-president, unless you have concrete proof to show that
Exactly.
he is guilty. So they won't call him for questioning. They will continue investigating that situation.
No, I'm not saying that they should question. I'm saying that they should get what's it called, bodies that would investigate properly, thoroughly.
Okay, moving on to Vanguard. All producing states. Federal government okays 13% derivation fund for Lagos.
I'm sure Mariah is happy about that.
Oh, we're so happy. Makarfi's committee stays for 1 year as police halt PDP convention. State of Nigerian economy worrisome, says NBA. Why I named my dog Buhari, says trader. Governor Bello blows hot over 13 billion naira embezzlement allegation. Nigerians to pay 9% tax on calls, SMS, MMS, data, and others. And federal government begins the possession of large quantity of clothing. I didn't even read that one.
No,
but
yes.
This story.
This your Buhari story now. You read it now.
I'm not interested.
It's
You
a
guys,
follow-up.
you talked about that
You
yesterday.
but
I don't
you
know what
read
you
the
guys
follow-up.
discussed yesterday. What the idea was that the guy.
He just had a pet and named it Buhari,
And
and then
wrote
his
the name.
neighbor got offended that his own father's name is Alhaji Buhari, that he's looking for trouble, reported him to the police, and he was arrested. Please, moving on to Lagos, 13% derivative. We're very happy. Analysts have said that let's let Lagos focus on how we gained our IGR and stayed regardless of federal government allocation in the days of Governor Tinubu, and let's not relax and then just start to depend on oil money.
And
I would advise-
of the 5 oil wells that were found, only 4 were approved. One was until there was.
I would advise that that 13% derivative should be saved. As a state that is one of the few that is self-sufficient, doing well, let's have a saving. Let's plan for the future as
I'm
opposed
sure
to
the
just.
governor is considering all
I
those
wanted
options.
to say that.
Our
Is
taxation.
it possible for us to be the one giving the federal government 13%?
And that's when we do the restructuring now.
I mean,
That's at restructuring.
yes,
this
when we restructure.
is-
But this restructuring matter, everybody's
do you know
calling
what?
for it.
Do you know
How
what?
many
Do you know
senators
what
do
it
we have
will
in
do
Lagos?
to the economy?
Three.
If states begin to give federal government these 13% that they're giving, let us begin to give federal government that.
I think
it
that
would open up a lot
all
of
the
states.
South representatives representing us should start to clamor for
Yes.
restructuring.
Yeah.
We want
Everybody's
our
telling
oil money.
Please, I want to talk about the taxation.
Yeah, please go ahead. Did you read it?
Yes, the issue about the taxation is that the country is trying to increase revenue, and they are looking towards taxing telecommunication as a way to boost economy. So 9% extra. I think that increasing taxation is a good cause if your economy was good. However, when your economy is in crisis, I think the first focus should be on capturing all the taxes on ground first
Bam.
before
Which
now
one-
increasing.
which one they've been doing, actually.
Number 2, we are just relaxing concerning that we can afford to make calls. The country is just enjoying good data, affordable data right now. This is not the time to increase
you
the
talk with two
burden
chicks, man.
on people.
Wait, is the money going to drop from heaven?
No,
but
I don't like the taxes, but listen,
This
Morayo, this is the only
company
industry
will
that is
just
making
move-
money. We just want to crumble
No,
it.
this telecoms company will just move the cost to you, the consumer.
listen.
Or they
at
can
some
relocate
point-
to Ghana.
At some point,
You just have to be sensible, Morayo. Yes, I agree with taxation. These people are the ones who are paying tax already. There are many people who are not paying tax. My small company, I have to go and knock on their door just because I want my tax certificate. That's why I pay it. If I don't need the certificate, I won't be knocking on their door. They don't know where I am.
Yeah.
I'm registered in Abuja. So rather than chase down all of those people and let all of us be paying tax, which is our civil responsibility, you want to crumble the only companies that are surviving in the bad economy. Come on, think about
I
it.
think it's best to capture all other companies first.
we'll see how that goes.
They will not be able to take tweets again because data will be too expensive.
Let's move on very quickly to Daily Sun. PDP, the movie. Inside story of scuttled National Convention, Makarfi, Agbaje, Fayose, Finger, APC in crisis. Again, court sacks sheriff. Odoguba, APC supporters exchange blows. Skybank is not liquidated, though CBN has warned you. EFCC rearrest detains and ex-governor Udenwa. Olympics, Germany ends dream team's gold chase, and 3 Nigerian pilgrims arrested for drug trafficking in Saudi.
I want to take that story.
Our dream team, can we first of all applaud
They
them?
did a
Going
better
for
job.
bronze. We hope that they come back with bronze.
Yes, at least.
So
So they can get their money.
They had a fighting spirit,
I don't know
Good
why
one.
I watched that match.
Their match
Every
with
time I
Germany
watch
wasn't so
Nigeria
good.
match,
They
they always so yesterday I was begging my husband, please, can you just change that channel? Because I think
Yeah,
I am the
it's the
one.
witches.
It's the witch inside of me. I'm the one that jinxed it, but I really,
We are
I
proud
really,
of them.
I really, really, really commend them.
Yeah.
Actually, They tried against all odds. So
Yeah.
we should not just
Okay.
give up and say that.
Who's talking about PDP?
Pilgrims.
Oh, the pilgrims.
Yes,
Yeah.
3 of our pilgrims from Kwara State, out of the 1,000, the first 500 that went there had been found to carry cocaine. And the head of the pilgrims board in Nigeria has said that there's nothing they can do because the law in Saudi Arabia is very strict. It is beheading. Those 3 will be beheaded, and that they have warned them that this country you're going to has strict laws against drugs. If you go there
Just
with
like
drugs,
Malaysia.
you are going to die. So there's nothing they're going to do. Those 3 will be beheaded, and I think it's a warning signal. If you know you're going to countries that have very strict laws, it's not Nigeria where you can.
Excuse me, these are the same people that we subsidized our dollar.
Jehovah.
They didn't give companies that are looking for money. Aso Rock does not have drugs because we can't find dollar. These same people that we subsidize dollar for, they're carrying cocaine. You see yourself?
Imagine
It's
that.
what?
And beheading shall be
PDP
your
crisis.
result.
It's simple.
We can't talk about PDP crisis. Unfortunately, we have a lot of
It's a simple
time.
case.
But that PDP matter.
Say McAfee should continue for another 1 year. That's
And
all.
so the son has said is a movie.
They'll be all
So
right.
the movie has yet to end. Let us see how
Yes,
it
part
goes
2.
on.
Wow,
Watch out
okay,
for part 2.
wow, okay.
They'll be, I'm saying they'll leave.
Wow, all right.
Okay, that's all we can take on front page review. When we return, before we start talking about suicide, we're going to bring in a gentleman who is actually helping to save people by providing shoes. It's called Save a Soul Initiative. Find out when we come back. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Right. Welcome back. Now, the convener of the Save a Soul charity initiative, Femi Ogunsowo, is here to tell us about this campaign. I know who had mentioned it earlier during the week. What is this Save a Soul about, Femi?
We're just trying to save the world.
You've been saying that since
Yeah,
morning.
I say that all the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
we collect shoes from a whole bunch of people.
Okay.
For the less privileged, people that have shoes that they don't wear anymore, new shoes, shoes that have been used before, all kinds of shoes. We take them, we clean them up, and we make some people happy. We put some smiles on faces out
How
there.
do you do that? Because I know last year you got about 3,000 shoes.
Yep, we did.
You started last year,
Yep,
2015.
we did.
How were you able to distribute 3,000 shoes?
Well, we go to the community, a whole bunch of people out there need shoes, so we break them down into sizes. We tell them to make a straight line. So from small size, children's shoes, adult shoes, sports shoes, rain boots, all kinds of shoes.
Wow.
We give them out. We do Makoko and we do Ajegunle as well.
Wow.
Femi,
Yes.
how are you sure that I don't join your queue to take one of your shoes to sell?
Well, when you're in that community, when you see the reality, it's hard for anyone to go and sell shoes when you need
As
shoes.
in, if I'm hungry
Yeah.
and I prioritize the hunger over my need for the shoes.
Well, that's beyond our control, though. That would be up to you.
Okay.
But from our survey, we are very sure that you need those shoes more than the hunger. Yeah.
So I know your target this year was supposed to be more than 3,000. What was your
Yep.
target this year?
Our target says 5,000 shoes.
How are you doing so far?
We got like 3,200.
You're very close.
We're very close.
And I know that who has been helping out, supporting this whole
She's
campaign.
making it happen.
Who are- so now, when is it? When exactly is this move? This walk, or is it a walk, or is it?
Yeah,
It's
we
a
hope
movement.
to distribute the shoes on Sunday.
Okay.
But from the reports or the feedback we've been getting, a lot of people outside Lagos actually want to distribute the shoes. So what we're thinking of is to collect those shoes probably sometime in the year. Again, we might now revisit, possibly not the same communities that we are going to. We'll go to a different community
Okay.
to help, because when you see the pictures of these children, they don't
Yeah.
have, I mean, some of them are going to school. And I know that
No
for me,
shoes.
my children's shoes are not really that cheap. So even if they use it for a long time and
Yeah.
the younger brother uses it, it can still be used, because normally I pass it down to my sister. So I think
So for Sunday, what exactly is going to happen? So imagine we send the shoes. Where do we send the shoes to?
Suite 11.
Suite 11 Estate Plaza. Magodo.
Magodo,
Yeah, that's a drop-off point.
And if you live anywhere around Lagos, we have a dispatcher that could come pick up those shoes.
So who did they
How
contact?
they contact you?
Contact the person. So you
You could check us out on Instagram. It's called Save the Soul.
Save, that's S-O-L-E.
Yeah,
Save,
S-O-L-E, yeah.
Okay, Save
So,
a Soul.
yeah.
So the Save a Soul, you go to your Instagram,
Yeah.
get details on where to
or
deliver
You
the
can get in
shoes
touch with Uber on her social media,
Social
on
media.
Twitter,
Okay.
Facebook, or Instagram.
to drop this. So once you
Yeah.
get the shoes, you sort them out based
Yeah,
on
we sort
sizes.
them out, yeah, we
and which
clean them
community are you
up.
going to this weekend?
On this weekend, we're going to Makoko.
Makoko, that's the
Yep.
one, the water.
Yeah, the water places,
Okay.
yeah.
Do
And
you need-
a whole lot of people there, because of the nature of the environment, they get a lot of diseases on their feet, so we really need those shoes
Yeah.
out there.
Okay, so do you need volunteers? Just going to be both of you? Or
No,
how-
we have a
loads
team.
of,
We have loads of volunteers, though.
Okay.
And hopefully, after this one, the next one, we're trying to save 1 million souls. Yeah, so hopefully, we go over, and I've been speaking to Mr. Lanry as well, so
Okay.
we'll make it real big, save 1 million souls.
Great stuff, good stuff. So, well, once again, Civil Soul Instagram page, go
Yeah,
there.
definitely.
All right, thank you very much. I mean, it's important that you help people out, and when we see people doing these kind of things, I think it's a good initiative.
Oh, thank you.
We hope you can hit your target.
We hope so.
We'll
And 5,000.
We'll bring our own
Yeah,
shoes.
definitely.
Well, can we drop it to your own office?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll get our own shoes. Doc, you have shoes. Those of you that want to reach, reach both of them
On
and they'll-
Instagram, yeah.
Instagram, and they'll
Yeah.
see how you can contact us. Thank you very much, Femi.
My pleasure.
Let's take a break. When we return, how to identify when one is suicidal. We have Larry Olushola in the building. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Welcome back. Now, statistics on suicidal behavior in Nigeria is becoming a major issue, especially in this period of recession. It's difficult to understand what drives so many individuals to take their own lives. According to the World Health Organization, estimated that approximately 1 million people die each year from suicide. Now, what drives so many individuals to take their lives, and how can we identify when a loved one or anybody around you is suicidal? Joining us on the show is a coach, a life coach, Lanre Olushola. Welcome to the show.
Yay!
It's been a while. How have you been?
Even
We see you on
passing me
social
now.
media, doing your things, sending your,
You that you have been-
your wisdom nuggets. We get it every day.
I
Cool
tete
stuff.
mole.
Yes.
We're working. Well done, guys. You guys
Thank
are
you.
doing phenomenal
Thank
work.
you very much, Larry. So, Larry, in the last 1 month, I think we've had about 2 or 3.
Very funny cases.
Suicidal
One woman
cases.
jumped into a well in Ilorin. One banker killed himself because he was owing money. Another man.
Yeah, there's just a lot of.
And another civil servant from Ibadan yesterday. Yeah.
So, okay, this is getting alarming, obviously. Now, we always hear of suicide and we think it's internal. We don't do that in this part of the world, How did it creep into us?
It didn't creep in. It's always been happening.
Wow.
But the world is not. It's not worse off now. It's just media is covering it, so people can see more of what is going on. It's always been happening. So many things. So many things happen
Okay.
that we don't document
Yeah.
in Nigeria. So it's nothing new.
New.
There's always been suicide. There's always been those cases.
People say that usually what leads to suicide is depression.
One of it.
But what-
it's
that's
the
usually-
leading.
yeah.
It's the leading cause of suicide.
So, what are the other causes of suicide, and how does a person get to the point where they feel, you know what, I'm done, I'm going to take my life?
All right. So 90 to 95% of the leading cause of suicide is clinical depression and other mental disorders.
Okay.
So it's a person that is not in the right state of mind. His spirit is broken. It's hopeless. And that is the only option that they see that can save them from shame So it's two things: hopelessness and shame.
Thank you for saying shame, because recently I had to sit for hours, like in an intervention, where a young girl, you know, she just found out that something happened to her, you know, her scores and all that, and she became suicidal. And all I could see was that fact that, you know, how can I hide this shame? How can I cover it up? And how do I live out of this? So how do we deal with the pressure that comes from what the society expects from us as individuals? Because some people can just push it aside, but some people cannot. They feed off the what's it called? The affirmations from people, and if they're not getting it, they become suicidal.
So that lies in the concept of self-worth, self-esteem, self-confidence, and self-belief. Now, we as parents, as leaders, as people that people look up to, one of the most critical things, that gifts that we can give, is helping people, you know, build their self-worth and their self-esteem. So the number one work of parents, number one work of teachers, number one work of a custodian of a child is helping that child discover himself, build a healthy sense of self-worth, self-belief, and self-confidence. It is when you've lost all of that that life has no meaning. I mean, you exchange your life for a bullet. How much does a bullet cost? So if you look at the entirety of your life, your children, you know, the investment you've made in your education, your family, and all of that, and you equate the value of that to the value or the cost of a bullet, it means that the bullet and death weighs far more than everything else. So that person no longer sees anything else but death. So death has become a choice and a solution to a perceived problem, or to what he sees as shame, or to a life that is hopeless and worthless. So the person sees himself as worthless, and the only way out is to kill himself.
Yes.
No, personally, I have entertained suicidal thoughts as a teenager, and I want to say this so that some parents out there, probably there's something they could have done, they could do to prevent this from happening, or signs they can look out for. I'm an only child, and so I felt that the pressure was much, that I have to succeed. You're bad, you're wasted, all the resources I have, everything is a waste. And so in my mind, I just felt that maybe if I die, maybe if I kill myself, they will miss me well enough. And I know some young ones are in that process right now, and the parents don't know what to look out for in the child, and the child doesn't know what to do to connect. I was able to get myself out of it through giving my life to Christ. That was my own way out. But just what are the signs that you can look out for to know that this child is going through this feeling of worthlessness, and what can the child do?
Before you answer that, let's take a quick break. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
All right, welcome back. Yes, so Tokwe had asked a question concerning how do you know when a child, right, is
warning
so-
signs.
warning signs for suicide.
You know, before we even go to the warning signs, is let's not be the tool that the devil will use. When you begin to tell your child that, you know what, the entirety of your existence is hinged on passing an exam, and if you fail that exam, you're a useless child. Why can't you be like Kemi? Why can't you be like Yetunde? you know, and then you begin to praise Yetunde. Oh, Yetunde got A, and you're just $1. What you're saying is, you are telling your child that your child is worthless. Now, there's no sign that you want to see again because you caused it. So the very first thing is parents and teachers must take responsibility. We are the ones that are being used as tools to destroy our children. So when you groom a child in an environment where you are always identifying things that they are not doing right, rather than celebrate them for the things they are doing well. Look, a lot of parents that put pressure on their children. Were you first in school? Did you come first to 10th
All
in
of our
school?
parents came first, too.
Do you understand?
According to them.
They're all liars. They're all liars. If all the parents came first, then
Who
who
came
second?
second?
Who came last? It's very painful. So, you know, it's the parents and it's the teachers. And we must take responsibility from, you know, being the right custodians. We should stop comparing our children. We should stop putting pressure on our children. Look, I've done a study. I've categorized academic achievement under A, B, and C. The people that consistently get A's from primary, secondary, university, and masters, they don't own companies.
True. They work for the people who own the companies.
They work for C
people and
people
D.
who own the organizations. So why do you want your child to be a worker?
Employee.
Why don't you want him to have that holistic upbringing?
But the people who have been killing themselves recently are adults.
Yeah.
Now, these are adults who are probably under pressure of one kind or some
money.
kind. Now, how do we deal with pressure? Those crazy pressures that lead you to the point where you feel like you're helpless. You get to that word you use, helpless. That pressure, how do you deal with pressure?
You see, they are not adults. They are children in
Yes,
adult
adult
skin.
body. Thank you for that.
You know, what will cause a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old to be traumatized is different from what will cause a 30-year-old. So you are sitting in a room with a 30-year-old that is thinking like a 4-year-old. And that's what we've got to realize with a mental disorder.
Larry, the bank manager who shot himself in front of his pastor, his own is shame in that I'm owing so much. If they arrest me, I'm going to jail. Rather than go to jail, let me end it now. The woman who jumped into the well in Ilorin, her own case was extreme hunger. I don't have money. How am I won't find money. And then she jumped into a well. So they're not thinking about children. It's pressure.
Let me explain what I mean by the mind of a child. So let's take the case of the banker. The banker, the reason why, you know, that happened is he must have experienced something in his youth as a child that put him in such a traumatized state of shame. And every time he's recalling or he's thinking about escaping, that is what is triggered in his mind. So he's thinking not about, you know, oh, I can't pay, or there's no hope of paying. He's thinking about shame for himself, shame for his family, shame from, you know, everything that he has done in 10, 20 years means nothing, such that he makes a decision that is not an adult, is not a
mature mind.
It's not a mature mind. Look, 75% of people that commit suicide are within the ages of 10 to 36. So you will not see a 60-year-old person
Close to death anyways.
commit suicide, or a 55-year-old person. It's people between that age of 10 to about 30, 35, 36, 37. Now, in the cycles of life, right, you would find out that you're not at the place of maturity that 60-year-old is, that 55-year-old is. Now, people that are afraid, that are anxious, it's not because of what they're going through. It's because of what they've gone through.
But my
That is
experience was
repeating
different.
and
So.
reproducing
I used
itself.
to write suicidal notes as a child on that thing.
As a child, right?
And it was just a cry for attention. I had no intention
Plan.
of killing myself at all. And my mother saw through it. You know, she was too busy with my brothers. I was far, the age difference between me and my brothers, you know, she had issues with them. She was too busy with them. I was sort of left to my own, and it was just a cry for attention. My father would find my notes and sit me down and be worried and be talking. My mother would just say, give her a knife. Let us see what she would do. You know, so how do you juxtapose
Okay, let me take
that?
this call for Yakub before you continue. Yakub, are you there?
I'm there, where are you?
Good morning. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning to you all.
Good morning.
Yeah. Mr. Layo, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, I really love the way you attend to the topic. In fact, you always hype on it to this program. Anytime you come on this program, I always learn one thing or another.
Thank you.
Because I learned a very big thing this morning about we should stop to compare a child with another. Because I fall in that situation right now. Not that the second one is not doing that bad, but I'm trying to let her know that look at your brother. But today now I learned that I should stop doing something like that. Thank you. God will bless you.
Thank you. God bless you too.
You see, I know that the battle of life is fought and won from your mind space. If right now I feel that I am hopeless, what exactly do I need to do? Like I feel that, okay, this is the end of life. What do I need to do?
The unfortunate thing with mental and emotional disorders is you are not empowered.
Whoa.
So who do I run to?
The challenge also is you don't run.
Oh.
So it's the people around you that must know
Fantastic.
that there's something wrong with you,
Okay.
that you have changed, and they must be sensitive to that and take you to get help.
Why does my mother think that I had changed?
Because your mother knows you.
So it's not about the person feeling hopeless that's going to admit I am hopeless.
No.
It's those around them that
Yeah.
say, this girl she's withdrawn,
Yeah.
she doesn't talk anymore,
Yeah.
I need to get her help.
Yeah.
And find out. Now, the easiest help
signs-
is pastor. We go and call
And the
Sister
resort to
Mary.
deliverance.
Or to deliverance.
there are three.
I need you to deal
There
with
are
that, but let me
three.
take Alaji's call first.
Yeah.
Alaji from, Alaji Giwa, are you there?
Yes, yes.
Good morning, sir. Please go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you all ladies there.
Morning.
Beautiful
Although you
ladies.
didn't say gentleman.
And a gentleman. you are such a handsome person.
Wow. Thank you. I'm blushing.
Nice one, sir.
Thank you.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the
Wow.
show.
Okay, thank you.
I've been trying to get you all this while, but I think today I'm very fortunate to get you.
Yes.
Yeah, on the topic, I really understand what the guest, I forgot the name. Can you please
Larry.
repeat the name?
Larry.
Huh?
Larry.
All right, sir. I really understand what you are trying to say. And before now, there's one of my children that I always quote because she's always on the wrong side. And each time she does something like that, I always fly up with her. You know, there's a lot of things rubbish to her. And my wife always fights me that is not the way to correct her. But I think this morning, from what you just said, I will try to correct myself on that.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alaji.
Thank you very much, Alaji.
Thank you very much. I wanted you to talk on just
Yeah, the
those-
pastors,
running to
right?
pastors.
Yes.
Yeah, there are three people they run to. They run to their pastor, their imam, or the babalawo. Now, those three are not, with all due respect, you know, they are not professionally equipped to deal with mental and emotional health. It is not a spirit thing, it's a soul thing. And the soul is the seat of your mind, your emotions, your intellect, your will. So go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a life coach for help. You know, so yes, pastors can pray for you and imams can pray for you and God can intervene. You know, but you know, you still need to deal with the issue.
This issue, okay.
So with the fact that God intervenes does not mean that the trigger is no longer there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's take to Mrs. Idowu from Agodo. Good morning, madam. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Concerning what Mr. Larry is saying over there,
Yes.
there's a man I knew. The man killed himself at the age of 55.
Wow.
The man was
It's
going
rare.
a bank, and the man had to jump inside the well and kill himself.
Was owing the bank.
Okay. My own experience, at times I have not seen any of my parents forever. Maybe they decide they want to commit suicide. But for me, I'm going through some challenges that there was a day I just say, should I just kill myself? Because nothing is working. Nothing is working for me. You know, I'm going to the bank. I'm going my house rent. I was pushed out of my husband's house. And I'm staying with my son. And even nobody around me, even my family, they are facing their own problems too. So I'm like, what I believe is because I'm a Christian, at times I will pray, at times I will maybe my prayer is not working. I was like, okay, what next can I do?
Okay, in that,
So
thank
how
you very
do
much,
you
Mrs.
deal
Do.
with such a
In that kind of
situation?
case
So
study.
just to address it, 75% of suicide cases between ages 10 to 37.
Yeah.
So
So
there's
that's
still
it.
25%. So just
Yeah.
to get her to realize that there are exceptions
Yes.
to
To
the rule. Yeah.
Now, if she ran to you, for instance, for help, what would you, how would you help her out of this situation? You were talking about triggers before we took the call.
Yeah.
So the trigger is that there's no hope
Nothing
for
is
me.
working.
Recession. I don't have money.
No family around her. It's just
I've
by herself.
been divorced. I'm left alone with my son. I don't see any way out of this. How
So
do
we'll
you
just
help?
take a blank sheet of paper and we'll count our blessings.
Thank you.
And we'll name them one by one.
I just
Then
wrote
we'll-
down.
Yes.
Focus.
Then, focus changes state. Whatever you focus upon, right, influences your state of mind
Okay.
and your emotions. So we'll get a blank sheet of paper, we split it into two. On the left, write all your
The ones that are
blessings.
not working.
No,
The
blessings.
ones that are working.
Then on the right, the ones that are not working.
So by the time you start counting, I don't have cancer. I don't have
No,
tumor.
I'm healthy.
I'm
You
I'm
know,
alive.
I'm alive.
walk.
I'm breathing. I have shoes. I have a son. He's doing well. I'm living with him. I have a reason to live. You start listing it. Then you find out that the things that you don't have.
I just
That's
And
said,
just to add to what you're saying, when you now have that, whatever you focus on now, you now begin to attract more
Of it.
of what just yesterday my son was saying that, Mommy, what is that when I'm looking at this, every other thing goes blur. I said that is
Your
what happens
focus.
when you focus on a particular thing.
let's take
you
a
know?
quick break so we can digest that. I like that
Information.
blank sheet. Yeah.
Write
Hope you guys
it
are
down.
taking your blank sheets and start writing. Stay. That's a good one.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Okay, welcome back. So this is the last segment. We're going to take some tweets.
Yes. Buki says, hi, please ask, is it possible that bankruptcy law be introduced to reduce suicide? Noah says, hello ladies, I just want to say, love your show. God will continue to help you all in Jesus' name. Click Deji says, people should look beyond situations bullying them and stand up to overcoming challenges. You're better than this. Dan Malik says, life is a joke. No matter how hard the living is, committing suicide is not a way to change, but ending your life. Smile says, this life is too sweet for anyone to think about committing suicide. It shouldn't be an option. Thanks for this topic. Directory says, suicide is cowardice. There is no problem on earth greater than man.
Yeah.
Not to talk of greater than God. People should live simply. I have a question, please.
yeah, please.
So this woman who jumped into the, because we're using these examples, who jumped into the well in Ilorin, you said that usually would run to our pastors, imam and babalao. Now, assuming that she ran to a religious house and they solved the problem by giving her money. Oh, pastor, I want to commit suicide, though I don't have money, or recession, or my children are hungry, and they gave her money. Would that have solved the problem?
Momentarily.
Okay.
Okay.
So, you know, momentarily, but it doesn't change the mindset.
mindset.
So it's the mindset that we now need to begin
Something
to
else will
build.
still trigger the suicide.
Deal with. So once we do that sheet of paper, we move to the next level, which is identifying why you are thinking that way. So we call it thinking patterns. But because as a man thinks in his heart, so
is he.
So your thinking provokes your emotions, and your emotions provokes a morphic field that lead you to take steps, you know, that lead to suicide.
I have this call from Niger State. George, are you there?
Yes, I'm on the line.
Good morning, sir. Please go ahead. Thanks
Good
for calling.
morning, Morayo. I just want, I have a similar problem with what we were discussing on studio this morning. I have a daughter that every time I keep on thinking, will she pass her exams, and puts me on the sleep every time. And it makes me a kind of talk to her rashly every time I want to talk to her.
Yeah.
How do I go about it? What do you think is the next thing I will do? Because it gives me real body. Though she did well in the past exam, but most of the times I either want her sibling, I don't even bother about them. But she keeps me on my toe and it makes me go annoyed with her every time.
Yeah.
What do I do about it?
How does he love his daughter?
Okay, so, you know, there's a phenomenon that I call love and acceptance. So you love and accept her just the way she is. It is easier said
Than
done.
Okay.
Now, you have to accept your weaknesses as well as your strengths. You have to accept her failures as well as her achievements. You've got to love, respect, and accept her.
Just the way she is.
Just the way she is, right? Because, you know, that embodiment, that essence of who she is what will produce something good in the future.
So, for example, she scores maybe C, and maybe she only has A in one subject or B. Celebrate that A, B, and even celebrate the C's and say, okay, you're an average student in this area. Is that what you're saying? I want to understand.
Yes.
So you're not accusing her for not getting the A's, but you're accepting that she's a C student in this area.
Larry, sorry, can we flip it? What if she was a straight A student
and then got B's,
and all of a sudden her grades started dropping? It will be tough for the father to accept that.
You must accept it because she's not like that. Something happened.
True.
And
There's
oftentimes is the house. Husband and wife are fighting, or husband and wife have issues. The environment that she's in is creating an emotional imbalance in her, and she's not able to focus and concentrate. Don't blame the child. Sort your situation out. But if you go back to the C, right, the key is this, right? Are there some students getting D and F?
True.
Are there some students that are not going to school?
True.
Are we forcing her to do subjects that she's not
She
good
doesn't
in?
like.
She doesn't like. Are we sitting
mathematics.
down to having these difficult conversations with the child? Look, parenting is hard work.
Yes.
A lot of parents are absent. They are not there. So it's the house girl and the nanny and the driver that is taking care of your child. So your child is imbibing the mindset of a nanny,
maid,
a driver, and, you know, a houseboy. Meanwhile, you think you are working and making money, hoping that the child will inherit that money. It's the house girl that is parenting your child.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Sophie.
Good morning, ladies.
Morning.
I want to just comment Mr. Lanre Olusola for his good work. I only read his article on Genevieve magazine.
Okay.
Can't just comment him and tell him to keep up the good work he has been doing.
Thank you.
Please,
Thank you,
I want to
Sophie.
jump in. We live in a society that shies away from wording our emotions, affirmation, and telling.
Africa.
Like, it took me. I was telling what I don't feel comfortable hugging someone because I didn't grow up with it at all. So where is the place of verbally encouraging and verbalizing the emotion of I love you, you are a good child, you will do well, I love you, saying it, not just praying and thinking.
Yeah,
I love you. I love you too.
It feels strange. Honestly, I'm telling you, this morning I woke on and I said, I haven't listed all the problems you need to do. I just had to tell my husband that I love you, and he looked strange. He looked at me and said, I'm working on saying it because I feel it.
How do we get to that? Because parents,
you see, it's focus. If you are focusing on the child's weakness, how can you say I love you?
True.
You know, you are focusing on the child's pot belly or pimple or you know, what they're doing wrong, how will love come? And how will that child believe that you love them? So number one is you must change your focus. Love is not a function of, true love is not a function of, you know, a compliment you give when someone does something
well.
right. It's an unconditional gift that you give. You know, the problem of this world is a lack of love. Suicide, those terrorists, when you steal, when you kill, when you... Lack of love. Love of God, love of self, love of your neighbor.
May I attest to that? I never had problems with my father and my grades, and I used to come bottom last. You know, early in I was the one who put myself under pressure that my friends were doing well in school, but my father never thought it was an issue. All my siblings are doctors, pharmacists, blah, blah, blah. But eventually, by myself, one day, I just saw myself, I was first. Encouragement, because nobody, you know, harped on it that I was feeling. There's one question on Twitter that I wanted to take quickly. Somebody was saying, we see a lot of jilted girls committing suicide. How do we address that?
An actress actually almost committed suicide. The report just came in now. Because another actress took her boyfriend or fiancé or something like that. So this jilting thing is a major issue.
So you know, you think that, okay, your dad didn't put pressure on you. He created an enabling environment that fostered and nurtured your self-confidence. And so you, by yourself, right, took personal responsibility to drive yourself. And look at what you have turned out to be. Correct.
So that's what we need to do. Focus on the good things your child is
the
doing.
environment.
And that love that you show helps their self-confidence, right?
Build your
And
child.
eventually, they'll end up doing exactly what you wanted
them to do.
Without shouting, without
You know,
running down their emotions or running them down like they don't know what they're doing.
Because the focus, let's not lose focus on our societal issue. So because those who are committing suicide are actually children inside. So it's because they have the foundation has been bad. So we try to get these children to have enough self-confidence that even when they get the pressures of life, they have enough shock absorbers to handle it. Tenacity.
Look, that when that child doesn't have self-confidence and self-belief, then that child grows up, right, into an adult that doesn't have self-confidence and self-belief. He has no tenacity to resist and to handle pressure. That child will cave in. So, you know, what you've got to do is to build, you know, the stature, spiritual, soulish, and physical stature, stamina, you know, mindset, emotions of your child, yourself, your spouse, and everybody around you. It is our civic, social, spiritual responsibility. So that actress, right? You know, I want to address celebrities. They are very prone to depression and suicidal tendencies. The reason why is they go out there and everyone is celebrating them, and then they get a high. Then they come back home. And you know them in toto. Your spouse knows you in toto, and then tells you as is. You cannot handle that difference. That high is like a drug. And you come back home, you relapse, and then they put you where you are. You know, and you are thinking, I'm a star now. You are not a star. You are a worker. So you've got to wake up every morning and see that you are going to work. Like a lawyer, like an accountant, like you're an auditor, right? You just have a gift. The auditor has a gift of numbers. You are not anything better than the auditor. The fact that you are an actor or a musician. So you've got to see yourself as a normal person because you are setting yourself up to fail. So see yourself as if you are waking up and going to work.
Oh, goodness, I have to round up.
Hey,
I wish that juice came in about 10 minutes ago. That's some good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you so much, Larry. It's always a great pleasure having you. Have a lovely, lovely morning. See you tomorrow. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.